advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth LLC and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information and is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Joseph, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Joseph.
Welcome back to Rock My Finances. I'm very excited for you to be here. This is part of the 7 Money Wounds series. We are going to be talking about security today. What if no amount of money ever makes you feel like it's enough and you just don't feel secure? What if your search for security is actually creating more insecurity? Here's something we don't talk about enough. What are you looking for every day? If you're constantly looking for evidence that something could go wrong, you'll probably find it. You watch the market, you're looking at interest rates, you might be looking at your bank account, you might be talking about somebody negative at work or somebody negative in your family, and you just keep recreating the negativity around you. Maybe you hear about somebody losing their job, and then you immediately wonder, could that happen to me? You hear about somebody running out of money in retirement. Maybe you think, oh my God, what happens if that happens to me? You may call this being prepared. But at some point, preparation can become rehearsing disaster over and over and over again. And the more you rehearse disaster, the harder it becomes to feel secure, even when you very well could be secure. So I am a big believer of law of attraction. So we're going to bring that up again here today. So if you believe in law of attraction, or if you know what it's about, basically it's one of the laws of the universe. What you put out, you get back, vice versa. Nothing new, right? So what we put out, we get back. So if we put out positivity, we're going to get positivity back. If we put out negativity, guess what, y'all? We're going to get negativity back. So I believe there's something very powerful in law of attraction, but I want to really just take it a little bit deeper here. Thinking positive thoughts to make good things happen. Okay, that's great. And ask yourself, what future am I mentally rehearsing every day? Because I also believe in what our thoughts manifest and our words create. So we need to be aware of our thoughts and we need to be aware of our words. So if we're thinking, I don't want to lose money, I don't want to run out of money, I don't want to lose money in the market, I don't want to lose my job, I don't want to become dependent on my children. Notice every one of those thoughts is centered around loss. So you're actually saying that you want security while mentally practicing insecurity all day long, the fear of loss, right? So let's change this question. Instead of asking, how do I make sure that I never run out of money? Let's ask ourselves, what would my life look like if I genuinely believed that I had enough today? How would financial security look like to me? How would that feel? How would I behave if I actually felt financially secure? Maybe what would I stop doing? What maybe would I start doing? What discussion would you have differently today? Now, this isn't pretending that you have money when you don't have money. The numbers still matter. They're still accurate. They're still there, and they're still reality. I'm talking about getting out of reality to a certain extent. Let's make your plan so that the actual plan is going to come to fruition. This is about becoming aware whether your thoughts and behaviors are aligned with the life that you're actually trying to create, the plan that you're trying to create, the security and stability that you're trying to create. Do your words match that? Do your thoughts match that? Because we can ruminate. I don't know about y'all, but monkey mind goes crazy in here, right? And then some of us have the wonderful trait of going more and more and more and more and more. And we just continue to spiral. Anybody heard of that word before, right? And it's usually not a good spiral, when we would love it to be a good spiral, because the more good you think about, the more good's going to come back. Okay, so we're going to talk about number one hidden tool that we're unaware of. We're going to stop affirming what we don't want. Now, let me say that in the correct way. We're going to start affirming what we do want, right? Let's take the negativity out. So here's one that may surprise you. When we affirm things all day long we actually don't even realize that we're actually doing it. Everything is so expensive, like complaining. Like I just said this, like, beef. I just said it about beef. I'm like, oh my gosh, beef is so expensive right now. Then I just created another groove in my subconscious telling myself that things are expensive. And then that groove goes even to a step one of, can I afford that? Then that one says, how much longer can I afford that? And can I afford that all my life, right? Like our brain just keeps going. And maybe you're saying, I can't afford that. Well, I'll never be able to retire. I have to keep working. I can't lose this money. I'm terrified of another 2008 market crash. Say something, we're saying something often enough, and it eventually sounds like the truth to us. So if we say it over and over and over again, we start to believe it. So for 1 week, here's your homework. I love it. Become a detective of your own language. Every time you make a statement about money, write it down. Don't change it just yet. Just catch it. First step is awareness, right? Of everything. At the end of the week, if somebody listens to everything that I said about money this week, would they believe I was creating security or preparing for scarcity? So we're going to write everything down that we say all week. Then we're going to look at it and go, okay, if somebody was to look at all these words that I used, are they actually on the right track, or are they kind of getting more on the insecurity track or the scarcity track? So I hope you enjoyed that homework. It's going to be really good. Okay, the scarcity paradox. Here's something fascinating. Sometimes the more money we accumulate, the more frightened we become of losing it. This happens all the time. Think about it. When you had very little, maybe there wasn't even that much to protect. Like it was easy. It came in, it went out. It came in, it went out. And instead of fear of it shrinking, your fear grows right along with the money when it comes in. Like our more money, more fear. I actually played this game once with some clients that we received $1,000 a day, every day. And you had to spend that $1,000 before you went to bed that night. You could not give it away. You cannot do charity. You cannot save it up to buy something. And then the next day you got 2,000. The next day you got 3,000. The next day you got 4,000, as you see, right? So we do this for like 30 days. I don't even think I've ever gotten all the way to the 30 days. And because, 28,000 that day, you got to spend that, right? And so it's kind of fun in the beginning because you're really buying, everything that you think that you need right now, which is fun. And that's great. And then it kind of gets you in that training thought of money. And then it's like, okay, now I've bought everything that I thought of. Now I need to go shopping. So now what else would I actually buy? Right? 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000. So it's really fun. And you got to be in the right frame of mind for it as well. So I actually had some clients get nervous. So once they got beyond a certain dollar amount, and everybody has their own magic number, they were already creating, again, fear. And let's think about it. This was a game. This is a make-believe fantasy game that we were just playing. No one's giving you $1,000, but we literally were taking on this every day. We'd have to report what we bought that day with our money. And we literally had a few people get scared and start bringing in fear. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to spend this money. And now I'm afraid someone's going to take this money. I'm getting this money every single day. I need to protect it. And some people did buy security. I did. I bought a safe. Like some people bought security stuff to protect the money that was coming in. Isn't that amazing how our brains go to protect us? It's crazy. So play that game. It's really fun. but how much of your wealth is going to grow before you start wanting to shrink it because your fear is going to grow right along with it. So maybe the question isn't just simply, how much do I need to feel safe? Maybe it's, how much of my identity and emotional safety have I handed over to this bank account balance, right? Because if your peace rises and falls every time your net worth changes, money isn't serving you anymore. You're serving the money. And I don't know about you, but I get caught up in this all the time. And I've been in money for decades. Okay, hidden tool number 2. Your enough number has 2 numbers. Your enough number has 2 numbers. So I like to call it your magic number. Most financial planning focuses on one number. How much do you need? I want you to create a second number. How much are you willing to enjoy? Isn't that great? So when I'm doing my financial planning, I have our basic needs that are essentials. That's bucket 1, essentials. Then I have discretionary, which means you get to spend it how you want it, travel, hobbies, whatever you want to do. So we have 2 buckets when I work with people in financial planning. So I want you to do this. So you're going to have number 1, how much do you really need? And then how much are you willing to enjoy? Add a 0 onto that and play with it. This is just a game in our subconscious, in our fantasy world. Enjoy it. So maybe your plan might be, I could spend $10,000 a month. And you're living on $6,000 right now because spending more makes you anxious. That $4,000 a month tells us something. I'm not telling you to go spend it. I'm asking, why aren't you spending it? Is it because you genuinely don't think that you want to lose it? Are you worried about losing it? Do you still want to save? Or do you genuinely think that you could be just feeling unsafe by spending that extra money? I've had several clients like this, that they have a plan. They've been working with me for years. They've been good. All we're doing now is adding on to more money that they're going to be able to spend in retirement, but they're saving it now. So they're not really living now. They're not doing vacations. They're not splurging. They're not doing a lot of things. And it's like, okay, I've told you, you're good. You're all good. Here's the numbers. I work it out with them so they can see everything, but they still feel unsafe. That's when we go into the coaching mode and say, okay, let's go back to your childhood. Let's go back to what's going on. Why are we not feeling safe around this? So if your financial plan can tell you where you can spend, your money wound of scarcity, or money wound of security might be allowing you to spend much less. So the secret rules we make with money, most of us have invisible money rules. Did you know that you got invisible money rules? Yes. And we never even write them down. We might notice them here and there, but let's write these down. So nobody formally taught us money, but our money wounds and our rules that are running in the background, but they are running in our lives anyways. Number 1, I must always have more than I need. We've been taught that. I can say I've heard that all the time growing up. Never spend everything that you have, right? Can't touch the principal. Do you remember that? Can't touch the principal. Debt is always dangerous. Well, that's completely inaccurate, and that could be running in your background. Debt is always dangerous. Leveraging other people's money is an absolute way to get wealth. Absolutely. So debt is not always dangerous. Bad debt is bad debt. Good debt is good debt. Spending money on myself is so selfish. Yeah. So being a single mom for many, many years, that's in the back of my head all the time. Like still, even to today, like I'd much rather spend it on my kids than myself. It's crazy. And can I spend on my children, but not myself? So we kind of have to tell ourselves this, right? I have to leave my children a certain amount. That could have been way back in the get-go, right? I need to leave my children money. A lot of clients come to me in the beginning, and when I started with them, we were, college planning, and, they were just getting into their careers and making money. And so they would want the college funded before they started saving for the retirement. And it's like, no one is going to fund your retirement. You can get loans and college loans in case you can't completely fund it. So let's put the perspective where it needs to be. You know what I mean? It's like, I know we always think that, but we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So let's do both. So we always do planning according to each individual person, but parents always think of children first. So if I'm not, here's another thought. If I'm not earning, I'm going backwards. So here's your coaching question. Who made all these rules? Was it you? Was it your mother? Was it your father? Was it your ex-husband? Was it your grandparents? Was it your caretakers? Was it your financial advisor? The scared 25-year-old version of you, did she make some of these rules? And here's the bigger question. Does that rule still belong to you today? So one of my rules was work hard, make money. Is that I got that from my childhood, 100%. My parents were entrepreneurs, worked every day. So is that my rule? Absolutely not. I had to kick that rule to the curb and cut back and take care of myself and my nervous system and meditate and touch my spirituality every day and take care of myself and my money wounds and my past hurts and damage and trauma and everything in order for me to make more money. And that's actually what happened. The year I worked, the less I've ever worked, the least amount I've ever worked, I doubled my income. So working hard to make money isn't necessarily true. So we have to look back at these statements that come up in our head, and we need to find them first of all, and then say, okay, is that us? Is that what we want? So now then you get to choose those hidden subconscious rules. Mine is my money's making money while I sleep. Another one is money is coming to me even easily and effortlessly. Sometimes I can believe that, sometimes I can't. I love this one. Everything that I've ever dreamed of, it's on its way. And it's almost here, right? Like you have to believe your statements. You can't just say, I'm going to be a millionaire overnight. Like your subconscious has to believe that. If you believe that, that's great, but you have to believe it. Hidden tool number 3. I love this one. The permission slip. This one sounds simple, but it can get very emotional if you let yourself go there. Write this sentence out. If I truly knew I was financially safe, I would give myself permission to blank. If I truly knew I was financially safe, I'd give myself permission to blank. Finish it quickly. I would give myself permission to travel. I would give myself permission to retire early. I'd give myself permission to work less. I'd give myself permission to take my sick days. I'd give myself permission to buy my second house on the beach. I'd give myself permission to sell my house and buy another one. I'd give myself permission to help my daughter, to help my son, stop helping my children. I'd give myself permission to hire an assistant, to hire a house manager, maybe to take Fridays off, spend money on myself, leave a job I hate, start a new business, my side hustle. I'd give myself permission to sit still. I'd give myself permission to take the time to learn to meditate. Your answer may reveal something very, very important to you that your financial plan never will. I can do numbers all day long, but this is where the gold is we really want to know what's running us on the inside. Then ask yourself, what am I waiting for before I give myself this permission? Do you need another 10,000, another 100,000, another million, someone else's approval, maybe a guarantee? And there are no guarantees. Sometimes we're waiting for a future version of ourselves to finally say yes to a life that we already could be living now. So here's where it is. Law of attraction meets action. Now, here's where I think people sometimes misunderstand manifestation. And visualizing absolutely is beautiful and I love it all, but it isn't enough. We have to be aware of our mental contrasting and what is holding us back. The negativity, basically. So your vision, I want to feel safe and peaceful and secure about money. Internal obstacle. Every time the market falls, I feel like I'm freaking out. New response. When I feel that urge, I will look at my long-term plan before I react. Just come up with the next statement that's going to help you when the negativity shows up. Okay? Here's another one. I want to enjoy the wealth I've created. Your internal obstacle is spending money on myself makes me feel guilty. Our new response, when guilt appears, I will ask myself, is this purchase financially irresponsible or emotionally uncomfortable? That's very different. So we're also going to try this 24-hour security experiment. I love this one. For one day, Emotionally, pretend like you're okay. Don't change your investments. Don't do anything crazy. Just know to yourself, how would you move through one ordinary day if you were not worried about money? What would you buy differently? Would you work more? Would you work late? Would you be present at dinner? Like, just think about it. What did financial fear normally steal from you every day, that on this one day that you're giving yourself complete permission to do whatever you want, you actually get that back today? Be aware of that. We actually want to be aware of that, because that's going to tell us where your work is, so that you actually can step into this wonderful feeling of actually being secure. We all want to be secure and feel stable around our money. And it's so important to do that. Okay, so I hope you enjoy all of these tips and tricks and these hidden tools that I've given you in the homework, because I want you to be able to watch these episodes, listen to them, re-listen to them, download them, everything you need to do, and do this homework, because I want you to be able to walk away from the Rock My Finances podcast to be able to say, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.